Now, Mali's President Ibrahim Boubacar Keita announced his resignation in the early hours of Wednesday morning, hours after his arrest by troops in a sudden coup that followed a months-long political crisis in the fragile West African nation. Keita appeared calm as he appeared on in a state television broadcast after midnight to declare the dissolution of his government and the National Assembly. He said he had no choice but to resign with immediate effect.
In an address on state television, the 75-year-old also said that both the government and Mali's National Assembly would be dissolved.
If today it pleased some elements of our armed forces to conclude that it should end with their intervention, do I really have a choice? I submit to it because I do not wish any blood to be shed to keep me in power.
The announcement comes after rebel soldiers detained both Keita and his prime minister on Tuesday. It also comes after months of political tensions and sometimes lethal protests in the state.
Months of unrest, different protests have left victims before whom I bow. I never wished for that. Everyone in this country knows that.
Ibrahim Keita's government had been beset by months of protest over economic stagnation, corruption and a brutal Islamist insurgency that has claimed thousands of lives.
I feel no hatred towards anyone. My love for my country does not allow me to do so. May God save us. Thank you.
It was unclear whether Keita was still in custody at the Kati base, which in a twist of fate was also the site of the 2012 agreement that brought him to power. The coup leaders appeared on television hours later to pledge a political transition and new elections within a reasonable time.
We, the Patriotic Forces United in the National Committee for the Salvation of the People, decided to take responsibility in front of the people and of history to ensure the continuity of the state and public services.
The Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, condemned the coup in a statement, pledging to close land and air borders to Mali and push for sanctions. The 15-nation bloc, which includes Mali, also said that it would suspend the country from its internal decision-making bodies. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres demanded the immediate and unconditional release of Keita and Cisse as diplomats in New York said the Security Council would hold emergency talks today. The United States and France also released separate statements voicing deep concern about the turn of events and urged against regime change.